Hello and good morning, everyone. Welcome to day 2, her millionaire identity. So before we start today, I want to know who stayed in her millionaire identity last night and this morning. How did you wake up? I'm actually going to change the view. There we go. I want to see who's on. Put your cameras on and let's have a chat. Let's make this like the more that we are actually here and collaborating and speaking, you are embodying a different person. You're actually open to receive. And yesterday we talked about that, open to receive. And I do want to just, before we even get back into it, just again, I'm so grateful for everyone that is here today. I'm so grateful for being able to do this and have people coming in from all over the world. I'm so grateful for all my lessons and all my blessings, because that's what's brought me to do what I do and helping women in your business to become better at you and your frequency, to align with your visions. And let's become millionaires, because when we have more money, we can do more as well, right? We can give more. We can, our businesses, you get to do more at the end of the day. So thank you again for being here. And this is day 2. So if you're watching the replay, so grateful. Try to come into the Telegram group. It's never too late. That group is open. And today we're going to really talk about the confidence, the embodiment work, and living as that woman who wants to have everything she desires. Okay. So my question was today, from yesterday, we had such a powerful masterclass by the end of that day yesterday, right? And it was really about taking action, declaring, right? Speaking who you want to be. That was powerful, that you have everything. You're like the text messages were incredible. So I want to ask you, did you do that work? Did you stay and wake up as the millionaire, the woman that you want to be? Who wants to answer this question? The cameras are still not on, everyone. So come on, let's get those cameras on. Hello, Maria. Lovely to see you. How did you wake up this morning? Oh, let me unmute. You can unmute now.
Hi.
Hi.
So I had an interview this morning and it went very well. And all I could think of was I'm going to have a job offer by the end of this week. And I just felt for the first time in weeks that I'm going to be okay. And this lack stops right now. And that's how I felt. So I couldn't wait to get here tonight. And I was just doing another meditation and it ran over and I was like, I got to go to this other one. This is better. So here I am. Hi, everyone.
Love it. I have goosebumps from that. How did you feel with all that today?
I just felt like I felt the lack stops now. And I have to, I believe in myself. I'm an author. I'm a singer. I just, the lack stops now. And then something came through about like refinancing my mortgage, and it could potentially put me out of the danger that I think I'm in. So I might not have to sell my house after all. So I have to look into that. But that came after my interview. And then I had done, so the other thing was I had done some contract work for my old boss. And normally he pays me like $20 an hour, and he paid me $35. So I like more than doubled what I thought I was going to make.
Isn't that amazing?
I know. And that was just from yesterday. So yesterday, the day before yesterday, I was in total panic. I didn't know what I was going to do. And today I said no more, and that's it. And that's how I felt. And I just think it's just only going to get better from here.
I love it, Maria. And it's all in your belief.
It is. You're right. So
it's all in your belief. Anyone else want to share from yesterday and waking up today? How did you feel today? Carmela, do you want to say anything? You watched the recording and anything shift for you? I just put it on to ask. You can
There we
open
go.
now.
Thank you. Yeah, I would say for me, in general, like I have the belief, I'm in it. I think the part that really stuck out when I was listening to the replay is like delusion and like really living from the 4D. And I feel like I do a little bit and then the 3D kind of, and I kind of there, kind of not. And I think it's for me, that next step for me is like fully all the time from the moment I wake up to the moment I go to bed. So that's the part that I'm embracing now and moving
Beautiful.
forward, so living in the delusion. Because it seems so lovely and light, like you were saying. I'm like, I want that. So
We
yeah, for me,
had so much
really,
fun when we started talking about being delusional, right?
yeah,
The quantum jumping does not come from looking and being at your bank account right now and seeing whatever it's at. It is an illusion. This world is an illusion. And this might be hard for some of you to actually like take that, actually understand what that means. But it is a reflection of sometimes yourself, but it's also what you're projecting out to the world. And then what you comes back in the world to you because of what we think. So imagine the $1 million in your bank account. How would you feel? You'd sign up for the whatever, the course, you'd sign up for, you'd expand your business, you'd get the VA in on your business to help you with social media, all these things that are taking your time and taking your energy. And that is the part of being an online presence in any kind. Like this business isn't just you showing up. If you want to build a business that is $1 million and plus, you have to have a team. You have to have the back end. Otherwise, it's all you. You get sick. You get to nothing stays in flow. Right? There's an expansion in that. So when I built, when I was talking about my experience back when I was, in my 20s, I got the employees before the work. I did the thing that most people don't do. That is quantum jumping. That is quantum leaping. And it comes from the confidence. So the confidence is you. So as I asked a little bit earlier before I think I started recording, I said, so are you the type of person, when you sign up, you want to go to some seminar or hear a speaking event? And I said to you, do you, when you walk in the room, how are you walking in? Do you come with an energy that is like, wow, who is that woman? And where are you sitting? Do you sit at the front? Do you sit at the middle? Do you sit at the back? That is a reflection of who you are. All of that. Every single bit of it. Because if you're a confident woman, you've got $1 million+ in the bank account. Don't you feel pretty good? You'd put on some darn good, nice clothes. You'd go buy some new shoes, new bag, possibly even for one event. But you want to look good. You want to feel good. It's about how we feel. It's not about what we have on. I put on nice clothes because I love how I feel. Right? I don't want to show up in a running gear. Not that I have any problem doing that, but this is who I am, right? It's my identity. People that know me know that I like to be, in my opinion, I look nice, put together, on time, early. It's an identity shift. Fully embodied. I'm not pretending to be someone. And this is where you got to find who that true person is for you. Because when you are true to yourself, there is no wobble. No wobble. The wobble puts you back every time, starting over. It does stop the manifestation. It does stop the universe giving you what you desire. So when we talk about, again, we're living her millionaire identity, how would you reflect on that right now? What would be different now that you've thought about it? What part of it is not sitting? So here's a really great example, I think, of identity. You fall in love, you're dating, you're different. Try to think back. All of us have been there when you've like dated somebody and your life is just, you know, different. You're different. Your energy is different. Yeah, I'll open up the chat. Sorry there. What else? You clear your schedule, right? All of a sudden you have this really busy schedule, but a guy comes in, he says, are you free for dinner tomorrow? Absolutely. Right? You blow off your friends, you do different things. You want to be with this person. Now, I really want to sit in this for a second, okay? Because if you are enough in yourself and you have really good friends and your intention is that you say, when you commit to something, you stay committed to something, would you blow off your friends? Would you do that? It's a reflection, right? You would say, thank you, I'd love to come to dinner, but I have plans. So can we make it another time? See how that identity, all of a sudden you start shifting into this other identity of people pleasing. This is people pleasing 101. And then we go down another level. We get married. And it was very common. We all changed our names. And I remember I was very much in my ownership of me loving myself. And I told my sister, really, so I'm never changing my name. No. And she was so cranky with me because I changed my name. And when I changed my name, it changed me. Not for the better. Not for the better. I gave my power away. And I'm not saying this to be criticizing anyone changing their name. My circumstances were different. I was different. It was where I was in my life. I was a confident woman. I didn't need to change my name, but I felt like it, and that's okay. But for me, when I see myself, that was not the thing I should have done. For me, because I knew myself, and I felt that I would be married to him. Do you know what I mean? There was something that made me feel like this would be better. Don't know what, but I did it. So these are the things. And nowadays, you think about the kids getting married now, a lot of them are not changing their name. A lot. My niece is getting married and she's not changing her name because she's a whole woman. They are very strong, and majority of the kids I know, friends of mine that have kids, very strong in themselves. Very different relationships. They're not giving away their power as women have in the past. Ours were learned, a lot of it from our, you know, we're in this age of 40 plus. So it's a lot of it's come from the old way of living in some ways, right? With parents and the way they worked. So it's just an awareness. There's no judgment here. There's no nothing here, right? This is just conversation about identity work, because I want you to think about yourself in what's happened over the past and how you've shifted some of your identity. And the identity right now of who you are and who you want to be, what is that shift? Because the millionaire woman is there with you. The clients, the money, it's just waiting for you. Do you believe that? Just reading some of the comments. Yes. Most people that when they go through a divorce are very happy to get their name back. And you know what? That's just life, right? This is where we get to learn and grow. And it's all about the rediscovering of who we are. And that's where we are today. This is what this masterclass is about. It is about the money, but it's about where are you today and how do you reclaim your power? How do you bring in what you desire? It's not by chasing. It's not by doing another email. It's not by, what other things, you know, thinking you have to post all the time even. The power is within you, all of it. It is an energy field in the quantum. And sometimes some of this stuff feels like you're not sure how to move through it, but it's just in being her. It's being true to yourself. So are you being true to yourself? And this is where we talk about it in every area of our life. How you are with your parents, how you are walking into a shop, how you communicate with people, right? Anybody have anything to offer? Anything, questions? I'm here. I've opened it to be different today, to have that communication, because I know when we did it yesterday, it really got people, it helps you start expressing. And the more that you express, you start seeing the gaps and the leaks. As human beings, we are, and especially women, I see it all the time. There's so many leaks in our lives, right? Of energy, of, you know, feeling like you're not enough, feeling like you don't know where you're going in life. And if you follow the path that is there for you, you will trust yourself. But we don't, we stop. And it's fear. It's the unknown. And as I said to Maria, like yesterday, we talked about, I said, okay, so what? You sell your house. Okay, no problem. You're out of a job. And look what happened today. She surrendered, but she became aware. Okay. The more aware you are, everything starts becoming more easy in life, in every area of your life. This isn't just business. You can't quantum leap just your business. The only way you quantum leap is quantum leaping yourself, your life. It means everyone in your life, the people, the friends. Things must change. Okay. So how do you anchor in that vision? How do you anchor it in? What are you guys doing at the moment? How do you feel you're anchoring in what you desire? Yeah. Fear is that you don't want to be in fear. I do try to be true to myself. I guess I just get lost for a while. And that's normal, right? That's why you're here today, Maria, right? Is that we all get lost at times of our life. And it takes focus. So how focused are you when you start a business? How focused are you when you're planning your wedding and you're dating? You are laser focused. In a date, even if it's just a relationship, dating, like it's always there in your thoughts, right? It's always there. If you think about the other person, there's a connection. So now you're doing this with your life, singular, to the focus of what you desire. Yes. Not with effort, with ease. It's always with ease. And when you are unattached, because you can't be attached to anything. So even for Maria, you know, when someone offers you it, you're not attached. It's exciting. And then you're seeing if it's right for you, right? So when we shift our energy and we are in the frequency of money, guess what starts happening? Opportunities come. So what would you love to come? How does that show up for you? Anyone have any questions there? Because I'm going to touch on again today, because we started to touch on it yesterday. And a lot of this is regulated with our nervous system. Okay. Our nervous system is the regulation of everything. It's the core. Okay. So the core of your regulation is, do you feel good in every area? Are you feeling safe in life? Are you worried about a job? Are you worried about where's the money coming? Are you worried about retirement? Are you worried about your parents? Are you worried in life? It's an underlining part of you that exists. Last night, I'll share a story. You know, I'm going home to Toronto in less than 3 weeks, and I'm excited. I haven't seen my family in 3 years, especially my parents. And, you know, my mom has some, oh gosh, the name, not dementia, they call it, what's the other one they call it? Anyway. And I got a text from my sister-in-law giving me a rundown about my parents. And this was after our call yesterday. And I was reading it, and I felt this awful feeling and heaviness in my body instantly. All right. I embodied that message. And it took me a while to sit in it. And before I called her. And it was, so what do you think happens? What do you think happened from me having that conversation that my brother and, you know, my mom's dementia, that's the word. She's, you know, moves things. She doesn't even remember. My brother goes there, puts a laptop down, laptop's gone, and she's moved it. My dad puts clothes out for the wedding. She puts everything away. So my brother's like, keep everything in your suitcase and keep it locked. I'm like, wow, this is fun, right? Smaller home and dirty. My mom's not showering like she used to. It's bad, right? We've got to make some big shifts. But when they have dementia, it's very challenging on the family because you can't get them out of their homes, right? Like it is. I've had some friends that have had parents that have this, and it's awful. And I'm not trying to go into this story, but I'm actually trying to share with you how that embodiment works. It became this thing for me of thinking, okay, how am I going to manage being there? My brother's like, you're going to have to clean the house. And I'm thinking, oh my gosh, like it was really like, wow, I was excited to see my parents. Now I feel like, woo, wow, this is going to be could be interesting for me. And of course, what happens? I woke up early, my brain thinking, your subconscious thinking about my parents. That's how fast you embody something that something said. Anything that you're happening in your life, okay? But I'm aware of this. I know this. So of course, this morning, what did I do? I messaged my brother and I said, can you please make sure my bedroom at least is cleaned? Because they do have a cleaner. I don't care. That's the one thing, just do my bedroom, right? So that I can feel like I can have a good night's sleep after flying 40 hours or whatever it is, right? And then today, I felt safe. I felt comfortable. And I thought, I will be fine because I can hold space for them. I can hold the space for them. And I'm not the same woman that I was before when I was in fight and flight. I'm very calm. I listen. So now it's going to a whole new level. So see how the quantum field, and when I'm asking for more in my own life, it's giving me these things. So no different to losing a job. I'm super excited going to Canada. I think it's all going to be fun. And literally my life is like packing. I'm doing lots of things when I'm there, literally away, seeing my parents, going away, going downtown Toronto. And that one thing I'm thinking, oh my gosh, my brother's like, you have the house to stay here if you have to come, like saying I can go and stay with him. And it was just like, whoa. And I had to go, no, that's not going to be my experience. That is not going to be my experience. My experience is going to be, I am meant to be there with my parents because my energy is going to calm them. And because I believe, and I'm setting that intention that if we are going to have a beautiful time, my mom is going to feel better and safer, and her dementia is going to be better. My dad's going to feel supported, having me to talk to. So I've changed the situation by thinking how I want it to work out, not by a text that I got. Okay? Choose your thoughts. Choose your experience. I go to sleep every night. I am happy. Before I go to bed, I have the deepest sleeps. I run with girls. They say, oh, I can't sleep. Do you understand the deep of this work? And it was contrast. So whatever is coming for me in Toronto, Canada, will be a bit of contrast. I can't control it. The only thing I can control is the way I react and how I just be by not reacting. Listen and hold space, but not embody it. I can hold the space. I can feel it, but I'm not taking it on. Okay? So that's anchoring your nervous system. If this was me going 3 years ago, oh my God, I would have been a mess. My nervous system was not in control, was not safe. I was not safe. So are you safe in your nervous system? Most people are not. They're not aware of it. Anybody want to say something out loud? I'd love to hear some comments. See you chatting away there, Cindy. What do you think?
Oh, I just think we're just not aware of it. I mean, I tend these things to change myself, to figure out myself. I don't have a business, except the business of me, right? So,
Yes.
so that is my business. So, but yeah.
But even with what you're doing, right? And
Mhm.
your work and I know you've always wanted to bring in retirement and money that way. It's
Mhm.
your mind that creates it. So if you don't feel like you're going to have not enough to retire on, guess what you're doing?
Yeah.
You're in lack and limitation.
Mhm.
This is the whole thing. We are all limitless. If you can release that fear and walk like the woman that has the bank account that you want to see, the Delula, let it go, trust the process, enjoy the money you have because there's always plenty. Stop closing it off. And this is in all areas of your life. This is the embodiment. I do everything in my life with knowing I'm a millionaire. I'm not looking and thinking, can I afford this? I go. I move. I take the bold moves. I make that decision every day without hesitation. I create fast. I said this yesterday. I move fast. People that I coach, we move fast. You're not sitting in things. You're going to move through all this energy and we're going to release it all so that you are so into you. This is why these women that I coach have such great results and quickly, you know, anywhere from like somebody even just starting with me from 4 weeks to 3-4 months. And that's because of what I've done in my life that I have the experience to do it because I trust myself. And this is part of the quantum leaping and manifestation, which, yeah, that's what we do. We are manifesting. Everyone's manifesting at the end of the day. You're manifesting fear. You're manifesting losing a job. You're manifesting the money not showing up. You're manifesting the guy not showing up. You're manifesting everything you don't want, but you want it so badly and so desperately, don't you? Now loosen up, girls. Ladies, start having fun, man. If I ever, and I used to, okay, so let's go back from the divorce. Everything stemmed from the divorce, but so many blessings. I was so controlling of everything in my life. We're not meant to control. We're meant to just have fun. Okay. I would love to detach some more from grasping. Yep. Yep. So what would you do? Only if you wanted to be. I think if I was really in this work and back to myself, it wouldn't have been, I was trying to be me, right? I think you've got to really release that. See, if you feel that way, that is what you're manifesting. I don't feel that way at all about my divorce. It was self-discovery in myself. The things that happened during the divorce, I participated in. I was mirroring him, he mirrored me, we shadowed each other. I mean, it was both of us going through stuff. There's never one person in anything. Did I forgive myself? Yes. Did I forgive him? Yes. We had a great marriage. I wouldn't have stayed as long as I did. I just kept thinking it would get better because that's the type of person I am. Okay. Should I have left earlier? Sure. But you know what? Maybe my path wouldn't be where I am today. Remember, we make the choices. We go down a new line, a new road. And this road is looking really good for me. I feel fantastic on this road, on this path. I wouldn't want to change it one bit. Not one bit would I change it. Even all the stuff, even all the crying and the lessons of life, I wouldn't change it. It makes me so good at what I do, right? Experience is their best teachers, learners, right? People that have been through stuff. Just forgive yourself now, Maria, right? We don't want to keep bringing up the past. I talk about it only from an experience so that you can understand what I've been through, right? As a coach and a mentor, it's really important that you understand I have been through most, maybe more than most of you. But I'm out and I move fast now. I'm back. I'm who I'm supposed to be. And every day I'm growing and growing and growing. And money is a big one. Money is one that most people really struggle with letting go, and they control it like it's thing. So your nervous system is the control. Like, think about your nervous system when you're doing things with money. It's so important. And then we want to, let's face it, now you're here to be inspired, right? We want to go back to how we felt yesterday, this quantum leap. Who's ready to quantum leap? How are you going to do it? What do you want? How would your life look differently? You had the magic wand, right? What would you be doing? What do you see? Because it's open. It's open for everyone. I don't know about you, but my life's looking fantastic. Because it's done. I know how it's working out. Just like when I go to sleep every night, of course I sleep deeply. I wake up energized. I didn't last night, but that's okay. I had to think about that. Your perspective of life is interesting, isn't it? So let's go into the quantum leap. What would you be calling in on that? You wouldn't be pushing anymore, right? You wouldn't be hustling. You'd be waking up and feeling just so in love with life. You take a few minutes in bed, you wouldn't look at your phone right away. You wouldn't think about any of that. You would be in your body going, resting, waking yourself up and thinking about how beautiful your life is, how grateful everything is around you, your home, your bed, right? You get up slowly. You would do things so just in a different flow, not rushing around. You'd feel light, yes, and joyful. You'd go to the bathroom, brush your teeth, I say hi to Sasha. We have a chat, a cuddle in the morning. This is how I live now, consciously. Get up, go for my run, slow and steady. No rushing. Because I'm a millionaire. My business works around me. I've created the business I desire. I've created the beautiful clients that come in. And the friends. I do whatever I feel like doing when it's divinely there. That is the new identity. That is where everything is possible for you. Can't be hustling, can't be running around, can't be like, can't even remember what you've done. Like that is the 3D world, rushing for time, being more ready, right? Well, Cindy, how would you go to bed? If you were going to be thinking about going to bed, what are you going to say to yourself? Gosh, I wake up so energized every day. Because your belief is in the old pattern. That's the old identity. You haven't changed. And like it is when you really start being like conscious of your thoughts, conscious of what you were saying to yourself, your life will change quickly. Okay? Because the millionaire, the woman who's a millionaire, and like I said, I've been one, so I know. I had to remember, how did she go? How did she walk? How did she, I mean, for sure, there's times that, you know, life is like, you know, there's pressure. Okay. Let's be realistic. We've got to be realistic here too, a little bit. Not that I'm realistic, but that's the wrong word. But there are times where it's like, woo, I better get cracking. Right? Because, you know, it is sometimes things creep up, you know, or whatever. But it's the constant. There's no perfect life, right? No one's perfect. So I don't want you thinking this is some perfect life I'm living. It is not. It is crazy. It's messy. It's like full of excitement. All right. So you see this me now because we're here and we're chatting about the millionaire identity, her millionaire identity. But my life is still got stuff. I still have contrast in my life. I still have things that happen and I go, whoa, didn't see that one. Okay. But it's how I stay in the flow. It's how I don't wobble, how I stay committed to who I already am. That is the way. And things can be you can either take a long time to be here or you can make it fast. It's a decision. Everything is a decision. I like going fast in every area of my life. I go boom, boom. Yes, good energy. Yes. I make those fast decisions. You know, manifestation loves speed. I don't know if you've heard that. It certainly does. It doesn't want you dwelling on it. It doesn't want you thinking, oh, I don't know, should I do this? Should I pay for that course? Shouldn't I? I don't know what I'm doing. That is a stall right there. Okay. You are pushing away everything that you desire. And this is the power of who we are. This is the power of these masterclasses, right? The remembering who you are when you're getting out there and you're selling yourself as a brand, as an entrepreneur, as a coach, a healer, whatever it is you do, or even if you have a job that you're going to, showing up as you, demanding more money because you know your worth, asking for it. Remember, if you don't ask for it, you don't get. Be bold. Don't worry what someone's going to say. As long as it's from your heart, you're not being rude about it. You're just being you. I demand certain things in the way that I am, right? But when I'm in flow, it always works out. And seriously, consciously, yesterday I had these outfits that need hemming. And I was like, who am I going to go to get them done? You know, you go online, here's a really interesting one. So yesterday morning before the masterclass, I thought I got to find someone to alter these pants. So I find someone and they're not far from me. When I went back after the master class, after talking to my brother, I thought, I need to get these pants done. Someone new came up, not that one, someone else. And I went and it was like, wow, this is a good shop. Like they knew what they were doing. Had the stairs. So when you're hemming, you can see it. And I was like, oh, okay. I had to go home 3 times and get another pair of pants. Because I went, okay, I trust them. They were the ones for me. The first one wasn't. That is alignment. That was because the frequency, the second time I went in, I was in the right frequency. Frequency is how we do things. It's how you make a decision. So don't you want to be in the right frequency? Every day? All the time? No slipping? No thinking? I don't know what you did there. There's something coming up on my screen. So, isn't this powerful stuff? Isn't it fun? I look at this stuff as the most fun experience of my life. You know, when you really see how the flow and versus force has stalled your life, it's just beautiful. And I have been stalling my life too. From thinking you need to force it, trying this, do this. When you relax into everything, it's like when you don't give a F. And here we go. Here's the perfect example. If you knew, and I have family that have cancer and stuff, but when you have a decision, when your life is your doctor is saying something that's life-changing in you, how do you react to that? Are you the one that stays and thinks, oh my God, my life is ending? Or do you go, I'm going to go and make sure I'm being the best person and doing whatever the heck I want in my life? You start living. You start living the way you want to live. This is what I'm encouraging you to do. You want to live exactly the way your life is meant to be. That is the flow. That is what source and why we were born. We were all born with the same currency. We were all born to be rich, have a life of flow, in alignment, without question, everything coming together. But we get stuck. Okay? Don't even talk about it. You can't put any energy into being sick. Do you understand? Like when people say, I'm getting sick, I go like this. Oh, okay, that's it. And I'm just like, but I'm always healthy. I'm always healthy. But I do kind of went, okay, well, I don't want to be too close. So you want to, you do the right thing, but I am so healthy. I'm the healthiest person I know. Everyone knows that. They say, you always say that. I said, because I am. I'm the healthiest person out there. I wouldn't even use that word, S-I-C-K. Words are powerful. They are the most powerful things out there. So get to choose your words, right? So now I want to ask you, who's ready to quantum leap? Who's ready to quantum leap? Yesterday when we got off this call and I saw how many, these amazing, like so many of you are just ready for that next level. You're ready. You want to close the gap, because that's what you do, right? When you start to quantum jump and quantum leap, you're closing the gap. You're collapsing time and you're staying in frequency. How would you feel doing that, having someone beside you to make sure that you stay in frequency? Because that's what I'm talking about now. When you stay and you have someone mentoring you in that frequency, your life will change. We catch it. We see it. We talk about it. Just like this, but we got to go deeper. It's not superficial levels. You have to know your thoughts. You have to be able to express them. And we need to move through them really, really fast. Imagine now, I want you to I want you to close your eyes for a second. Everyone close your eyes. And I want to talk about, it's December and it's New Year's Eve. You're celebrating the biggest 3 months in your business. Everything you wanted has happened. The bank account overflowing. You are, you're spending money like the millionaire because you know now what's possible. You've changed your frequency. You are on par with your messaging. People are just following you. They're dropping into your DMs. If you have a job, there's other opportunities that are stacking in for accumulation of money. Your retirement now is just like growing and growing and growing. You can see the money coming in. It's just so fun. Oh my gosh, all these opportunities have opened up, and now you see what 2026 is going to be your best year ever, because you have the flow and you've gotten the code. The code is the frequency, and you won't ever go backwards because you know now you are her. You've built the $1 million business. You don't have to question anymore. You are living that life. You've celebrated. Who's with you? You've booked a beautiful restaurant, paid $1,000 a ticket, sitting in there, having fun with your girlfriends, your husband. And then you say, wow, look at how fast that happened. Because you calibrated. Because you got to feel it. You felt different. Your identity, you embodied that woman to trust and to have faith. Never question anything. And when you think about it, you catch it. Because now your frequency is always updating, right? You don't plateau. You don't just stay there. You are on a higher and higher frequency to always be able to call in more. How does that feel? That vision is powerful. Okay. It's meant for everyone. Everyone. It's not superficial. It's for everyone here. That feeling, that success. Because you already have it. You just haven't tapped in yet. You haven't tapped into the money. You haven't tapped into the frequency. And this is that quantum and that delusion. That's going to be you, who you are now. You're not going to second guess. So yesterday, literally after our call, I came up, God helped me put together another little program. I told you I move fast, and it's 12 weeks. So we're talking the end of the year to literally get clear on who you are, to quantum jump in your life, because it's not just business, right? It's who you are. They're not divided. Our business, our life is one. Everything is within. And it's going to move fast, and we're going to have fun. And there's a few different options to come into this space and this frequency. So there's, like I said, it's a 12-week program. I didn't print it out. Let me grab it here. Let me just grab it. It's going to be frequency driven. It is, oh goodness, let me just find it. One second. Yeah. Can't find it. Okay, here we go. So it is, let me just go through it here with you, because it is the Quantum Leap Mastermind. And this is where you're going to collapse time. You're going to embody the millionaire, and you're going to step into overflow. Do you understand overflow? Does anyone understand what that means? Overflow? Overflow is basically seeing your life is just overflowing of love, overflowing of money, overflowing of experiences. When you become in flow, the doors open wide, things start happening faster. And as you're in alignment and in trust and certainty, because this is all about certainty and trust, it just shifts. It's like that porthole, which I'm sure you've heard these names. They open. They open for you because now you're not in lack. Now you're open to receive. Okay. And it is an amazing experience when you start. So like how I shift and change fast. I'm in that porthole. I understand it. And the experiences of life are there for all of us to expand. Okay. So it's about wealth growth. It's about identity, your business, and your life. And, you know, it's for those that are, if you're ready and done playing small, done stuck in your life, done not making the money you want to make, done with all of that hustle, grind, overthinking, and you're ready to take that roller coaster, right? And start getting that nervous system back to calmness, because that roller coaster, man, it's no fun, right? It takes your energy out. That's where you start feeling burnt out, is when you're second guessing everything in life. We go through, so the first month is all about identity and alignment, the millionaire identity, your nervous system. I'm going to pop all this into the chat for you afterwards, rather than me reading it. But at the end of this 12 weeks, you are going to be her, embodied 100% with that identity, no more wobble, with certainty. Certainty has a flow. Certainty is an energy, right? You know, you've been there, but you're just not holding it. And this is where those quantum leaps go. Okay. And you're going to take the next leap that you've been afraid to take. You're going to do it, because I'm going to be there with you to support you, to make sure that nervous system and all those beliefs are in check. Okay. This is where you're going to really hold that wealth within you. Those 20Ks, 30Ks, 50K, 100K. You can collapse that. 100K, the universe doesn't care about money. It's you. Okay. Going to regulate the nervous system. You're going to have complete clarity on every ounce of yourself, your business, how you work, how you don't work, have it all put together. This is your messaging and the foundation. Okay. That's scalable. And it's going to be a ton of fun, because I like having fun. And this work has to be fun. There's no, like, even though you are in it, when we are in things, it feels uncomfortable, but that is the emotion that is tied into you. We have to be different. And that's the identity work. The old stories have to go, right? Got to let them go. And over these 12 weeks, it's going to be, you're going to feel different. There's going to be an energy. You're going to go fast. You're going to make decisions. You're going to be like, ooh, but don't you want to be on a road that's leading to success rather than the same? So this is what it's about. There's 3 different options to pay. So it's $5,555 for a VIP, because you get my 2 weeks. Every week, you also have me privately helping. Okay. Or you can come into Telegram and the Zoom call. So we have 10 Zoom calls. So there's lots of time with me over that 12 weeks. I'm going to send it out to you, so don't worry. You don't have to write it down. I'm just going through some of the details. Not that they matter. It's about this feeling. Okay. This is where you have to trust yourself. If anything I said is like a hell yes, do you know that is your highest self? That is your highest self. And you keep ignoring it. So I don't want you to ignore it. This is what I go from. Every time I go, ooh, that sounds great. I do it, because that is the shift for you. You are basically saying, I am her. I am her. Okay. We have 30, I've heard this, 30 seconds is your highest self making that decision. 30 seconds. Otherwise, guess what brain takes over? The amygdala, whatever that's called. Okay. That is the fear brain. That is the brain that says, oh no, I don't want to do that. Because it's fear. It wants you to stay the same. You've got to want to grow. You have to want to move. Okay. And it's going to be a high electric, amazing experience in all areas. So as I said, there's a VIP level, there's the standard level, which doesn't have the private calls with me. And if you're interested, you can also just put down a deposit of $1,000, and we start October 1st. Because I'm going away. I can't do it while I'm away. I tried to think I could, but I can't. So we're starting October 1st, and you guys get first grabs, right? So there will be a capacity that will have to, I'm not sure how many I want in there yet. I'm just letting that unfold. But I want you to sit in that, and I want you to think about where you are and how would you feel, and what did you feel when you started to think about January, New Year's Eve, 2026. That is it. You know what you want. And the only reason, it's just a choice, isn't it? And these are the choices. So are you going to change your identity to have a different choice? Are you going to take that leap to quantum and go for it? The only fear that's there is that Magdalene, whatever, brain. And when you start calming it, you're going to start seeing like all the things that, oh, no, I get it now. It's the habit of, it's the old identity. It takes a little bit of work to come into frequency because it's new. Something you haven't experienced before. Okay. And like you said, the new is where all the fun stuff is coming. Like when Maria let go, right? We talked about fear yesterday. And I said, well, okay, so you lose your house. So you don't have a job. She surrendered. She let it go. And look what happened. Got a job. Now she's getting financing her house. That's the kind of work that's going to happen, but bigger. Because you got 3 months together. Okay. How does that make you feel? I want you to take action from the feeling of, wow, I would love that. When you go to pay for things, you must be in that frequency, not doubt, open to experience, going, you know what, this could change my life. All you need is to have that little bit of faith when you go and say, wow, what are the possibilities? Can you imagine? You'd say yes. If someone offered you a job that was your dream job and it was like in another country or whatever, you would be like, oh my God, that sounds exciting. No different. Okay. The universe, God doesn't care what you're spending your money on. It's your belief. You can go out and buy a Louis Vuitton bag or a new car. It doesn't matter. It's circulation of money. When you understand these fields, you're going to look at money very differently because money will always come back to you when you have the right belief in yourself and understand the quantum and how it works. But you also have to have that flow of service, right? We get paid by service. But when you're going to pay for something, you've got to be like, this is going to be the best thing in my life. It's going to change my life. When I went and invested in my coach, absolutely. I was like, this is going to be the best year of my life. So stay in that frequency. So important. You don't do anything in fear. Okay. This is going to talk. Most people never talk about this stuff. I don't want anyone doing anything when you feel uncertain or a bit of fear. You need to hold, you need to sit with yourself and feel your nervous system, calm it down. It's a programmed way of being. It takes work, but you can do it. You can do it. You see it. Okay, you're going to start remembering some of these things in yourself that you never remember, that you've forgotten. You were not always like this about money. You weren't always like this about things in your life. You used to sleep beautifully and wake up so happy, Cindy. There was a time with lots of energy. Something's changed. I don't know what you said, but anyway, it's only a belief if you want to say it. You could say age, you could say traveling, it's a belief. I want to see what she's going to write. You're very welcome. Okay, so even saying that, Cindy, okay. So we change a belief instantly, right? So now you are always saying this before you go to bed. God, I sleep deeply and wake up so energized. What is that? Energized. I'm the energized bunny. There's your belief. Take it, own it, believe it. Every night before bed, set the intention. God, I sleep like a baby. I'm the energized bunny when I wake up. So how many more beliefs could we have in your life? 12 weeks of this energy, reprogramming, reprogram, new identity. Oh my God, taking a leap, doing this. And you will be celebrating before, okay, before January. Guess why? I'm opening the mic. Come on, someone tell me, why do we celebrate before? Why do we celebrate before? You're all open to speak.
Because it's a done deal.
You can go.
Because it's done.
Done deal.
It's done, ladies.
Mhm.
Everything you want is done. And when you do this, when you pay for a course and you're saying yes to yourself, I want more, I want frequency, I want a quantum leap, and then you go out and bloody celebrate, do you know what you're doing? You're telling the God, universe, I'm done. It's here. And then we stay in the frequency. Okay? We stay. We don't wobble. You're going to learn how to collapse time. And things will start just zoom, zoom, zoom. So what happens when you say that? The universe is like this, boom, 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 getting it all ready. But we're not worried about time now, are we, ladies? No, it's not your job. The how, the when is not your job. But staying in the her is. I got to let my dog go. Hold on. Standing at the door. There you go. That is your job. And that is what why you keep bouncing, okay? I am so pumped, let me tell you. If you have any questions, please send me a DM. If we're in Telegram, send me a private DM. If you're, you can reach out on Facebook, you can email, wherever you know me, you can reach out if you have any questions, okay? Instagram as well. Is there anything that does anyone have a question here before we say goodbye? Did someone say something?
No, I'm just pumped to go to bed.
Oh, okay, that's good. Lovely, just pop my Instagram in, but you guys know where to find me. Anyway, what a beautiful masterclass. Do you have a new experience with yourself today? You see possibilities now for yourself. Because that's what I want you to feel, right? It is open for everything you want. There is no one that doesn't deserve this. Okay? Have a beautiful evening. Thank you for being here today. Thank you, everybody who's watching the replay. It's open to you too. So make sure you reach out, come into Telegram, because I'm sure we'll have some more things going on in there. So it's always open. Join Telegram. And so appreciate all of you for being here with me today. Have a great night. You're welcome. Bye, guys.
Thank- Bye.
Bye.